Well, one of the top female entrepreneurs in China is Zhang Xin. Zhang is the CEO and co-founder of SOHO China, the largest commercial real estate developer in China. The 50-year-old self-made billionaire came from humble beginnings. She was a former investment banker who chose to leave the industry to co-found SOHO China with her husband. CCTV's Martina Fuchs caught up with Zhang Xin during the World Economic Forum in Davos. She began by asking her how women fare doing business in Beijing.
You know, China is an incredible place for women. If you look at the private sector, there's such a great atmosphere and great opportunity for entrepreneurs. And I think women are just natural entrepreneurs. And so you see, I mean, I don't have to figure, but I know that China has the largest self-made women entrepreneur in the world. It says something about China. It says something about the women in China. And I think part of it is because we have gone through the cultural evolution when we were taught from young age that women can raise half the sky. And so it was just, it's a culture that, especially in the private sector now, that there is no glass ceilings need to be, broken, and just, I find women are naturally, natural business entrepreneurs anyway.
SOHO China is the biggest commercial real estate developer in Beijing, but there has been a property market crisis recently and also the economic slowdown in China. How did you lead your company through these difficult times?
We just celebrated our 20th anniversary last week. So we've been in business doing real estate for 20 years. And then most of the 20 years we did one thing, which is to buy land, build buildings. And by now we build so many buildings in Beijing and Shanghai. But I think now with China's economy transitioning from investment-led to consumption-led, what it means for a real estate developer is that we're no longer so focused on just getting the land and build buildings. Instead, we're very focused on providing a service for the tenants. For instance, recently we started a new business called SOHO 3Q, which is to provide a share office space for startups, for small companies, medium-sized companies. And they come into this kind of very modern Starbucks style of work environment. And then they don't have a long-term commitment. They can rent for a week, a month, a year as they wish. So I think it's very exciting to do, I'm so focused, before I spent so much time building buildings, now it's like doing the inside of the buildings, and it's exciting.
You have a remarkable journey. At the age of 14, you moved to Hong Kong and worked in a garment and electronics factory as well, then studied in Cambridge. Now, how is your background influencing your business and the way you manage your staff?
Coming from that background, of a very humble background, and I think it just gave me, it taught me to be persistent, and especially in tough environment, and still be persistent. I think that has shaped me as a person, and I don't know whether that's carried through. It must carry through to my managerial skills.
Now, you have a lot of interaction with global female entrepreneurs here in Davos and in other cities. You travel frequently to the US as well. What do you think they can learn about the Chinese culture?
I think every culture is so unique and so distinct. Chinese, I'd say for a woman, a businesswoman, China is a very is a great place, and a lot of countries like European countries or American, I think it's harder for women to get to the top. Here at Davos, people talk about, there's only 17.8% of women participation, and how do we bring that number up, right? I think if you look at the China's business sector, you wouldn't have such a low participation of women.
I'm a single person. I'm not married and don't have children, but you are a very successful businesswoman with 2 adult children. How do you mix your, private life or your professional life and still, be a mother?
I don't do many other things. I work, and I'm first and foremost a mother of my boys, and then I'm also the wife, and also I'm the CEO of the company. So these are really the roles that I play, and I don't do much things outside. Like, for instance, I never really do business dinners, and I don't go to conferences that are usually held for weekends, because dinners are for the family and weekends are for my boys. And so I guess that's how I divide between work. But when I go to work, I'm packed. My days are packed with all the meetings. And so from the minute I enter the office till the minute I leave the office, I work. But when I get home, I'm a mother.